Greetings, Dapperlings, and welcome back to From the Depths and to an expanded fleet where I have added 2 new Avatar class destroyers, I guess. I mean, they're certainly not battleships, they're nowhere near big enough. I'm not even sure if they're big enough to be destroyers, really, but destroyers is what we'll probably go with for now. Right, to answer the obvious question that is probably going to be on everyone's lips, we have... what do we have? The Mr. Phoenicus, and apparently this one didn't take its name. That's a little bit frustrating. This should be the Tick Bree. There we go. Chaoticles has selected from the master name list the 2 new names, which are, as you've already seen, Mr. Phoenicus and the Tick Bree. For those who are new to the channel, the master name list is basically where someone's name gets put if they ask to be named something in one of my games. It's just a large list of everyone who's ever requested to be named in one of the Let's Plays. It doesn't have any relation to a specific game, it's just a list of available names, and when it comes time that I need to name something in a game, I'll go there, I'll use a random name generator, or as I often refer to it, Chaoticles, to select which person from the list will be chosen. Now, let's see. I think this fleet needs to cut its teeth on something, or someone more to the point, and I'm not sure, really, that you're the right one for that job, but at the same time, I kind of want to get rid of all of the enemies that are directly around the North Ariwick recon. So, how about we go ahead and pull the fleet and then move the fleet over here, and whilst they're on their way, I will address the fact that very many people have seemed to be interested in me reading out the Onyx Watch backstory, and rather than put that at the beginning of this video, which would require that anyone who isn't interested in it skip forward, I'll put that at the end of the video. So if you're interested in hearing the Onyx Watch backstory, then hang around towards the end of the video and I will read through that on camera for you, and we will learn a little bit more about the Onyx Watch. It is actually a fairly interesting little backstory. I love some of the details right at the end about the captains as well. It really does kind of give you a little bit more of a feeling that this is a world with a history to it. Now, what are we going to be up against? Ooh, that's actually quite a large fleet. We've got a Buttress, a Telemachaus, I'm not sure what that word is. Another Buttress, Bastion, 2 Bastions, and a Rampart. Ooh. Now, with this fleet, I very much doubt that I am going to be pursuing capturing ships just now. Right at the moment, my main concern is to learn how powerful this fleet can be. Also, though, I'm probably going to test out where the sweet spot is in terms of how big I should let the battles be for it to be an interesting and fun battle, but also still a watchable battle. Because obviously, From the Depths is rather demanding on most computers. Mine is no different to anyone else's, although it's a fairly modern machine, recently built out of modern components. It still suffers quite heavily when the battles get bigger. Let's make sure that your torpedoes are not going to be hitting any of the avatars. We'll move this avatar down there. What? No, the HMS Avatar should be at the very top. HMS Avatar is, of course, the flagship, and it deserves to be at the top. Then the Fensic, then the Mr. Phoenicus, and then the Tick Bree, then, we'll have a Sobek, then an Eric Martin. Now, I've re-equipped the Sobeks and the Eric Martins with Thumper warhead missiles in place of their original missiles. We'll see how they go. I may need to change that because it's a vertical launched missile. I'm not sure how that's going to play around with the Beam Rider, especially because the Sobek sits so close to the waterline. But we'll see. Right, we're going to need 41,000 blocks in this battle in order to get everything in there. We will have 30,000 blocks, and the Onyx Watch will have 11,000 blocks. I would hope that this battle will go heavily in our favor, but you never know. So let's find out, shall we? Let's make sure that I am aboard the Avatar, of course. There we go. Make sure I'm there, and there we are. Oh, my lord, so loud. What was I expecting, I suppose? All of the bullets, all of the time. Ah, yeah, the Sobek's missiles just going off into the ether. Okay, well, I'll address that after this fight is over. Oh, did it have to be in the middle of the night? Let's pull out the binos. Let's have a good look at what's happening to these scallywags. they are getting stripped of all their armor. It's actually quite lovely, the way it's lighting everything up. Now, I have had a couple of people in the comments mention there is a way to turn off the kind of cinematic slowdown when big explosions happen, such as that one there. I will look into doing that. I actually like the cinematic slowdown myself, but you shouldn't just sign off on something and never test out any alternatives just because you found something you like, because you never know that you might like the other thing more. So I'll definitely give that a look in, but that won't be for this episode. That'll probably be for the next or the one after that. Has that one been completely destroyed? Yes, it's pretty much just sinking now. Okay, well, fair enough. We've got another big explosion by the looks of it. I can occasionally see these things lit up by some lightning every now and then, which is actually kind of cool. Let's get right behind these guys and have a proper look-see. Wow, you are getting annihilated by all of these shells. That is glorious to behold. Truly it is. Let's dip into the water. Your engine is gone. Whatever you had inside is gone. You've got a couple more ammo barrels at the back there. But mostly, you're dead. Again, I see I'm almost tempted to try and capture some of these. But I think it would be better right now just to see how our expanded fleet can handle itself, rather than worry about trying to capture things. It looks like you are taking quite the pounding now. It's already carved a hole into the middle of your ship, which I'm quite happy to see. But let's go out to the, oh my lord, to the map and actually have a look at what's going on. That is just craziness. The Tickbury, the HMS The Tickbury, has a little bit of damage to it. It's got 4% damage, and the Avatar Fessick and Mr. Fennicus all have a little bit of damage on them. The Avatar showing its rear to the enemy in an act of defiance, letting them know that they are no threat, and thus presenting the least armored part of the vehicle to them as if taunting. I can't say I'm surprised, honestly, Avatar. I've come to expect such a nabber behavior from you. I suspect that is going to be very, very low very quickly. Some missiles as well. Possibly missiles from the Avatars, maybe? No, it doesn't look like. And that one is completely gone. Okay, well, I'm not incredibly surprised that we're doing well. Though I am a little bit surprised that we did well enough that our Avatars took barely any damage at all. Not even 5% damage on any of them. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. And at this point, the buttress and the buttress over there, there's really nothing they're going to be able to do. We've got so much ordnance coming their way. It is almost embarrassing to watch. 24%, 21%. Oh no, the torpedoes appear to have just gone straight through it. There we go. So many torpedoes. It is kind of glorious. Right, we're going to pull this fleet for now. We are going to then tell the Tickbury and the Mr. Fennicus to get healed. The natural repair bots on those ships will probably do a very good job of repairing them quickly anyway, but the Abayas will certainly help. Now, we've got an enemy fleet coming down. The 15th Army. Relationship with the Onyx Watch is aggressive expansion. Hunting the Usurper. Oh, I'm not sure you really want to hunt me when you've got a force strength that low. I think it was only 40, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't think that's going to work out too well for you. I'll be honest with you there. Right, let's try and get ourselves over here as quickly as we can so that we can get into the next fight. I will bring you back when we are close to the fight with this 91 strength fleet or this 40 strength fleet. And welcome back. We are almost in the fight with the hunting fleet. However, I've decided to try and be a bit bold. Maybe pull in this 91 strength fleet as well. What have we got here? We've got a stockade and we've got a bastion. And over here we have, oh my lord, we've got a lot of things. We've got an Eyrie, we've got a rampart, Telmach House, a warden, and a parapet. This may be an interesting fight. I could probably pull us into a battle with both, and in fact, I think I will. We are probably going to aim for a little bit less than 41,000. I think that ended up being a little bit slow for the battle, so we're going to pull it down to about 30,000 instead and see how 30,000 blocks works. We'll just keep trying to find that sweet spot where the battle is quite fluid but also fairly big. Now, question is, which side are we going to have the most luck at fighting? I think it would probably be better. We could split our forces evenly if we really want to. And there's a little bit of me that thinks that might be a good idea, but there's only 2 ships over there. So how about instead do this? We'll have the Titanic up there as well. Farsic, you're going to be down here as well. And the Abaya backing you guys up. There we are. That should give us a bit of an interesting fight, I think. Fingers crossed. It could be that none of these ships load in which case these guys are going to have to make their sorry way over there to try and get in on some of the fight. But we'll see. Okay, right. Let's see. Who is going to load in and who is going to begin shooting at whom? Let's get down there and actually look first person. Where's all the fighting going on? Let's get ourselves up there. Oh, really bad luck us. They didn't load in at all. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. In fact, we have one... Wow, 1 ship versus 3. Well, this certainly will make it a bit more of an interesting fight, but I need to get over to the Farsic, I think, so that I can add my repair capabilities to the Farsics, given that it's fighting more or less on its own right now. But we'll see how this goes. It may well be able to hammer this fleet into submission. This one's receiving repairs, though. That's interesting. Well, let's have a little look at you. It's a little repair vehicle. It's got some small cannons, but clearly this thing is mostly there to keep its allies in the fight. Let's have a look inside. There's lots of repair drones or something? Or maybe not. Maybe I was looking the wrong way. Maybe you were repairing them instead. I'm not really sure. But either way, it looks like the Farsic's doing a really good job of this one. Really good job. Okay. Right. Well, let's go back out to the map view. We'll see how things are going. The Warden's got 55% damage. Let's see. Is the Farsic actually launching its missiles at all? I think it is, actually. Yes. Glorious. There we go. 2 Thumper warheads away. Are they going to do much damage? I'm really not sure if they did that much damage. That said, they have made a bit of a hole in there. Here they come. But they slowed right down, which is a shame because these things really get their strength from speed. But that's already gone. They've basically perforated that vehicle and have taken out its primary AI. It's probably going to be going down now. Oh, actually, no, it's 2 damage. Not its AI isn't dead. Now, that's one thing that a lot of people have said, is that the Onyx Watch actually have a lot of AIs on most of their vessels. Now, which one's loading in? Ooh, we've got the aircraft. That is interesting. Let us see how this one goes. AA cannon realigning is going for the aircraft. Good. Now, the AI guns have very, very high priority on anything in the sky. Ooh, this one actually has defense lasers. That's interesting. What a beautiful looking vessel, though. I love it. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. So much heavy firepower. And it's even got this large sort of cannon on the top for distant targets as well. It's trying to shell the other avatar over in the distance. Must have a really, really good range, actually. Must have a really good range. But now both avatars are getting involved in this fight. I doubt it's going to be in the air for too much longer, but let's have a look. How are you staying in the sky? I don't see any thrusters. Are you primarily using rotors? I suspect you must be. I don't see them, though. I don't see them at all, and it's really hard to look for them. Ah, no, there we are. What? How are those rotors working through this? Oh, you cheated. Those rotors are spinning through the walls. But it looks like it may be about to go down, actually. That doesn't surprise me too much. Doesn't surprise me at all, if I'm perfectly honest. I wouldn't mind capturing one of these at one point, but again, this episode is largely me getting used to a much bigger fleet than I usually have. And, wow, you're going the wrong way. It's trying to flee! You coward! How unsightly. Though, to be fair, against 2 Avatar-class destroyers, I think I might consider running briefly. But I would consider it. I'm not going to lie to you. There would be consideration happening. Right, it looks like my missiles may be trying to punch a hole through this little ship. I'm not sure. Most of the torpedoes are going over there for the now sunk flyer. Let's head back to the map view and we can see exactly what's going on, though I'm very concerned for the Sobek when those guys load in. If the Sobek loads in, that is. It may not. We may just be working with two avatars for the rest of this fight. I mean, they are very large ships, so they take up an awful lot of our block limits. I could adjust it further. I don't think I will. I want to see how a 30 block limit fight goes on. Now, all of these torpedoes moving in for the kill. Let's see, how are you doing? Can I get some health readout on you? Oh, actually, the health readout is right there. What on earth am I saying? I'm being a derp. What I was looking for is the percentage, though I can easily enough see that that's 50%, I suppose. Right, okay, well, let's jump down. The Fessek's actually taken a reasonable amount of damage, honestly. I'm a little bit concerned about that. Let's have a look at you. Oh, wow. Fessek has taken an awful lot of damage. It's amazing that it's still going, honestly. Quite amazing that it's still going. It's also launching... That's bad. That's not good at all. Please stop doing it. Jerk. Oh, wow. Right, health below 80% and sinking. 2 seconds. Where's the next enemy going to spawn in from? That one's 2 damage and is going down. That's not too bad. It may give us a few seconds for us to get all of this repaired. Our metal is already back up to the point where we could just happily build like another 3 or 4 avatars if we wanted to. I could probably even build that in the middle of this fight if I was feeling particularly evil. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to insult our enemies that much by building more fleet whilst in the fight with them. But it is tempting. Okay, we've got another avatar loaded in. That is just as well, honestly. And it is just as well that our shield is there, because that could have been a nasty one. We're going to have a couple of shots coming through here and smacking us, but the armor is holding for the most part. Might need to look at getting some shields right down there at the bottom to try and help out with the avatar staying in a fight once it's sustained a fair chunk of damage. I mean, it's not like its engine can't realistically handle that. But there we go. This thing really has no chance to survive. It's losing all of its repair capabilities. It's got an awful lot of repair bots, though. And there we go. 2 damaged already. I wonder if we're going to see the next avatar load in. Let's zoom all the way back out and have a quick look as well. Over there. No, not too bad. It's going to be a bit of a long one, this battle, so I'll probably be using judicious cuts to try and reduce a little bit of the length of the fight. And here we are. The avatars have reversed enough that their AA guns can now start to project their awesome firepower out to this sort of distance. And wow, I managed to bring you back just in the nick of time. That was a huge explosion. It looked glorious. It must have gone all the way down the middle of the ship. It must have been an ammo stockpile just going all the way up through their bridge. Why would you do that? That just seems like a health risk waiting to happen to someone. Torpedoes doing dolphin dives over the ship, you know, just for dramatic effect, I guess. I don't know. Seems a little bit weird, but okay. And Sobek's just like that. Please don't load me in. Please don't load me in. I don't want to die. This would be terrible. The avatars would kill me at this point. When you load in, I've got a sneaking suspicion that one of the other avatars will load. That might place one close enough. No, it didn't look like it did, unfortunately. All the avatars very, very far away. Though we got a lot of torpedoes in the water and the Sobek loaded in. So I was like, no, why? Why would you do this to me? Alright, well, I don't believe that your missile system is working at this point because it can't quite get the right angle. So let's go ahead and adjust that. We want to load in the infrareds for now, I think. Load the infrared and assign it to all of your missiles. At least that'll do something. The thumpers aren't going to work on the Sobeks. The Sobeks are just not built for thumpers. The lasers that they use to designate their targets lie too close to the water. The thumpers would never be in the right position to follow them, or rather keep them directly behind them. So at least by switching to the infrared, I mean, it's a quick fix. it's something that will actually get us some results straight away. It's not an ideal result. I don't want to rely entirely on these guided missiles like this, but it'll do something at the very least. There we go, spreading out a little bit of damage. It appears that those missiles did exactly what they needed to, though. My lord, well done. I was mocking you. It seems that this thing has suddenly realized, oh, wait, I was ignoring you because you were tinier. I didn't think you would have risked. But, yeah, that really hurt. You scallywag. I'll teach you. I'm afraid it's too late. I think you just lost most of your ammo and quite a lot of your vehicle in total. Oh, look at that. Death coming down from the sky. High arcing death. It's actually kind of pretty. That's wonderful. That's actually kind of beautiful in a really morbid way. But sorry about this. I mean, I actually am. It feels like this was a hopeless battle for you right from the beginning. At least you showed up to the battle instead of running away like a coward. There's that you can always cling to. I mean, for the remainder of your life, it's not going to be very long, but you can at least take pride in the fact that you're dying with honor. We'll remember you. When the avatars will mock you, but I'll remember you fondly. I'll sing stories of your bravery. And, well, maybe I might actually sing stories of your gruesome death as well, just to demoralize your friends. But secretly, in my heart, I'll be acknowledging your bravery. But I think that's pretty much the end of this fight there. 2 damage, 4 seconds to go. Just gonna get a couple more torpedoes in there for good measure. And there we have it. It should despawn about now. There we go. I believe we have just won. And also, we've got quite a few levels from these fights. Quite a few levels, actually. There we go. Well done, everyone. Let's pull the whole fleet. Get everyone repairing. We have made some pretty good progress, actually. We've defeated a hunter fleet. We've also defeated some larger fleets than I was expecting to, honestly. This one is coming down here to try and... oh, it's hunting us. Well, you know, good luck. The last one didn't do too well for himself. But before we do anything else, let's go ahead and have a look at our character. We have got 13 attribute points to spend. Pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and pump that up to 5. We'll get this one up to 5 there. That one up to 5 as well. And we'll go one more into mechanic. That way we can have a little bit better time repairing the ships that we're on. But that is going to be it for this episode. For those who are interested in hearing a little bit more about the Onyx Watch and seeing their backstory, then stay with me and I shall start reading that. But for those who are going to be leaving, I do hope you've had an enjoyable time watching us basically raffle stomp the opposition. I will probably be bearing that in mind when I think to split this fleet, because I think I realistically will have to, except for this battle. I suspect we're going to need a fleet like this. In fact, we might need a little bit of a bigger one for this fight. I'll probably also look at increasing the block limit just a little bit more, maybe to 35,000. I might go back to 40,000 for the big fights like this one, just because I really think that it kind of, the epicness of the fight will outweigh the epicness of the lag. Hopefully. Do let me know in the comments, though, if you've got an opinion one way or the other, whether you prefer it to just be smaller fights but a lot smoother, or whether you would be happy with a bit of FPS drop in order to see a very large fight with a lot of explosions and things like that going on. But that is going to be it from me. So, once again, thank you very much for joining, and let's go ahead and check out the Onyx Watch. Righto then, it is time for story time with Avak, more or less. Feels a little bit weird, but let's get to the Onyx Watch. Now, quite a few people have wanted me to read through the entirety of this lore. So, we're going to start from the beginning once again. I have read over the first paragraph, but for the sake of completeness, let's start from the start. The Onyx Watch are the original mercantile navy with deep roots in tradition, trade, and contract. Being the old money of Nita, they broke off from the Steel Striders over increasing frustration of pirate attacks on their trade convoys. These pirate attacks have historically been from the scavengers of the Deepwater Guard. However, recently the Twin Guard attacks on convoys show an alarming increase since the split from the Steel Striders. The Onyx Watch Council could clearly see that their tax was better spent in creating their own defense force. The society revolves around mining and industry, where a skilled individual is valued above all but raw resources, and so take great pride in their trade, leading to some of the finest craftsmanship seen in Nita. The most renowned craftsmen form the Onyx Watch Council, which oversees their financial success as a ruling force. Having a wealth of skilled tradesmen and resources, the Onyx Watch were quick to rearm themselves for defence, first refitting their trade galleons to be combat-worthy through their original manufacturer, Black Powder Antiques, and later commissioning the production of dedicated warships through Lockforge Industrial Marine. Hailing from the snow tundra of Cold Lock, where exposure to the elements can mean death in minutes, the word safety to the Onyx Watch quite literally means fortification. This relationship with the elements has heavily influenced their design mantra when combat is waged from behind strong walls at great distance. As such, there are many artisans dedicated to guncraft and fortifications. The environment has also moulded their society over time into having a serious distrust of flying, almost to the point of disambiguation. This had a questionably beneficial side effect of leading the Onyx Watch to glorify oil as the greatest of the resources available on Nita and lifeblood of their industrial machine. Devoting their supplies of oil to production has allowed them to produce massive structures and vehicles, but also means that they shun anything that they see as wasting the precious substance, such as energy-hungry lasers or shields. Fleet configuration. The Merchant Navy is a group of heavily armoured and gunned wooden galleons which, if pushed into a fight, will turn in for a broadside to cripple opponents through sheer weight of simple cannons, while cargo is safely stored below. While the use of sails seems outdated for a society built around industrialization and manufacturing, the benefit of not requiring fuel to move their wares from one place to the other far outweighs the extra time it takes. The Onyx Watch were never in much of a hurry to get anywhere to begin with. Almost all of the Merchant Navy fleets were created by the corporation Black Powder Antiques, and although few orders for new galleons come in, the corporation still performs maintenance and repairs for the aging fleet. The dedicated combat navy of castle ships takes the siege warfare mantra to the extreme, with heavy broad hulls of metal and large caliber explosive cannons most often mounted on turrets. These large gauge, low rate of fire cannons are the signature of the Onyx Watch and are used for anything between anti-ship, anti-air to even anti-infantry roles. Castle ships excel at ranged combat, supplemented by heavy durability of metal beams and swarms of repair bots. While they are able to generally turn faster than the Merchant Navy, they are still slow in a straight line. The more decks a ship has, the more prestigious it's considered to be, and so almost all of them feature at least one upper deck. It's a matter of pride for the captain and craftsmen who make them. Notable common quirks of Onyx Watch captains. Upon losing all of a ship's cannons, it is almost certainly followed by the captain muttering, "I'm getting too cold for this ship." Before a particularly brutal battle, captains smear oil across their faceplates, as if to say they have already paid the price of combat. Remains from pirates are prized as good luck charms and apparently make the best armor plating. That is a little bit gruesome, considering that basically, from what I can tell, everyone here are robots. So if you're using them to make armor plating, that's the equivalent of humans cladding the outside of their ships with the decaying corpses of their fallen foes. I mean, I'm not even sure that I could say, in all honesty, that humans haven't done that in the past, or at least haven't thought of doing that in the past, but it's still pretty gruesome. Not quite the dapper individuals you might like to appear to be, Onyx Watch, but that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed listening to the Onyx Watch's backstory, and we will probably read the backstories of the other factions as and when we decide to attack them. But that is it from me for now. So once again, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I would love to hear feedback from you, especially considering the reading of the various faction histories and lore. But that is going to be the end of this episode. So until the next time we meet, do take care.